Welcome, everyone, to Techaily.ai. Today, we're taking to the skies, exploring a topic that's really captured so many imaginations, drone photography. If you've ever dreamt of seeing the world from, a bird's eye view, capturing those breathtaking landscapes, or maybe just understanding the latest drone tech, well, this exploration is definitely for you. We're going to pull out the really important insights, help you navigate the world of aerial imaging, everything from the artistic side of composition right down to the nuts and bolts of flying and regulations. It's about moving beyond just like flying a drone to actually creating something amazing with it.
Exactly. Our mission today is sort of to distill the essence of what it means to be a drone photography ninja. That's someone who can not only capture stunning images, but does it with real precision planning and a deep understanding of their craft. You'll learn everything from inspiring photo ideas to how to choose your drone, how to fly it successfully, and navigate those essential legal bits too.
Okay, let's start with the artistry then. What makes a drone photo truly captivating? The philosophy mentioned imagine, plan, shoot. Bro, really seems to highlight that it's, well, much more than just having a drone up there.
Yeah, what's fascinating here is how that aerial perspective fundamentally shifts how we see compositional elements. From above, ordinary scenes transform, right? They reveal geometries and patterns that you just can't see from the ground. This lets you create some truly extraordinary art. Take shapes, for instance. We all understand basic forms, but a drone can reveal them on this grand scale. Think about boats on water suddenly looking like perfectly shaped leaves, or those stark, deliberate forms in agricultural fields. These shapes aren't just there, they actively control the visual experience. They connect or separate areas, they stress appealing zones, and they lead the viewer's eye in totally new ways.
That's a really crucial distinction. So it's not just about seeing a circle, but how that aerial circle, like a roundabout or maybe a crop circle, becomes this powerful, almost abstract focal point, isn't it?
Precisely, yeah. And building on that, think about symmetry from above. It can be incredibly captivating, brings a natural balance. But, some of the most compelling images actually break that symmetry deliberately. It introduces a kind of tension or narrative. And lines are just as powerful as storytelling pillars. Curved roads, winding rivers, even the rows of crops we see in photos like Javier Del Cerro's amazing field shots. These leading lines grab your attention and pull the viewer on a journey through the frame, usually towards a specific focal point.
Right. I remember seeing that Javier Del Cerro photo mentioned. How do those leading lines from that bird's eye view guide the viewer differently than, say, a line of trees on the horizon in a regular ground shot?
Well, from above, lines can appear to stretch almost infinitely, can't they? They carve paths through the landscape and give you this unique sense of scale and direction. It's almost like a map of the scene you're looking at. And this effect gets amplified by things like patterns and texture, repeated solar panels, or the rhythmic shapes of sand dunes, like in Donald Boyd's beach texture shots. They take on this almost hypnotic quality from the air. Texture adds genuine depth to a 2D image. It sort of fools the eye into seeing 3 dimensions. And then, of course, there's contrast. It's vital. It emphasizes subjects through opposing colors, different sizes, or, light and shadows. Understanding color is key here.
And the materials mentioned a tool called Palatine for color planning. How does that fit in with using contrast effectively from a drone's view?
Palatine. Yeah, it's brilliant for photographers generally. It lets you explore harmonious color palettes. From a drone, the atmosphere itself can subtly shift colors. So pre-planning your palette helps you maintain a consistent mood in your shots. Knowing that, say, deep, saturated colors create a strong mood while pastels make it more subtle, well, you can use tools like Palatine to define that atmosphere before you even take off. This unique drone perspective also allows us to create really abstract images, pushing the brain away from the familiar world. Sometimes this leads to moments of pareidolia where the landscape seems to form familiar shapes, like Donald Boyd's famous crocodile rock that he found. But sometimes, less is more. Isolating a subject, maybe a single whale in a vast ocean, can create an incredibly powerful, minimalist image. Really sparks curiosity. And naturally, light is the essence of all photography. But from a drone, shadows can almost become main subjects themselves. They add dramatic contrast and shape. Sunrises and sunsets give you those amazing golden or blue hours, incredible light conditions. Capturing the moon, though, that requires really careful planning because its position changes so much. And you need to align it perfectly in your frame for that truly epic shot.
It's pretty cool how the drone pushes us to see familiar things in a totally new way. But beyond the art, bringing these ideas to life needs some serious planning, right? How do we translate these sort of abstract ideas into actual flight plans before we launch?
Oh, planning is absolutely critical.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's about working smarter, not harder. Saves time, money, and a whole lot of frustration. You really shouldn't just pick a random spot or time. Instead, you plan every detail. The exact spot, the framing, the composition, and crucially, the light and shadows.
Okay, so I saw PhotoPills mentioned as a crystal ball for photographers. That sounds ambitious. How does it actually help plan drone shots with that level of detail?
Huh. Yeah, crystal ball is a good way to put it. PhotoPills has this incredibly powerful drone mode built right in. You select your specific drone model, its focal length, which dictates your field of view, and you can even overlay composition grids like the rule of thirds or the golden ratio to help you frame things perfectly. It lets you virtually scout locations just by dragging and zooming on a map. It's almost like flying from your couch. You can even load specific famous spots, like Calabarrel in Menorca. And for light and shadows, it's indispensable. You can precisely plan for light quality, see exactly when golden hour and blue hour happen. You activate the shadow layer, set an object height, use the time bar, and boom, you visualize light direction and shadow lengths for any moment. You can even use the find tool to figure out the exact date and time the sun will be at a specific azimuth and elevation to cast the shadow exactly how you want it. It gives you incredible control.
Wow, that level of precision is really something. Being able to predict exactly where the sun or moon will be in your frame before leaving home, that must cut out so much guesswork.
It genuinely changes the game. And beyond PhotoPills, there are other essential apps too. UAV Forecast and Windy give you detailed weather wind speed, direction, rain probability, cloud cover, visibility, temperature, all vital stuff. Windy especially is great with its animated wind patterns and forecasts. Checking that is crucial for safety and getting stable shots.
Yeah, I can see how checking wind patterns on Windy could be the difference between a smooth, perfect shot and, well, a real struggle. Or worse, a crashed drone. That's serious.
Exactly. You hear stories.
Right.
You definitely want to check Windy. And Google Earth lets you scout in 3D, visualize the terrain, potential compositions from different angles, all before you go. Then for the legal side, apps like DroneMate and AirMap show you up-to-date maps of no-fly zones, control airspace. They're usually color-coded. Green's generally okay, red's prohibited, yellow means restrictions or registration needed. Which raises an important point. Even with all this amazing planning, what about actually flying the drone safely and successfully?
Right, exactly. All this planning is fantastic, but for you listening, it boils down to actually piloting the drone. What are the basics for a safe, successful flight, especially if you're moving into more serious photography?
Okay, first up, choosing your drone. You need one with a decent camera. Think 12 megapixels minimum for photos. 4K video capability is pretty standard now. Crucially, look for a 3-axis gimbal. That's the mechanical stabilizer for your camera. It counteracts the drone's movements, pitch, roll, yaw to give you that silky smooth video and sharp photos, even when the drone's moving. Battery life is also key. Most give you around 30 minutes flight time, so always carry extra batteries,
Yeah.
fully charged ones.
It's definitely not just a toy, is it? It's an aircraft, and you've got real responsibilities.
Absolutely. For beginners, start simple. Fully charged batteries, balanced props, always keep it in your line of sight. Find an open field, away from people and obstacles. Get to know your transmitter. Mode 2 is common. Left stick is throttle up-down, and yaw, rotate left-right. Right stick is pitch, forward-backward, and roll, sideways left-right. Practice those basic maneuvers over and over. Take off to eye level, controlled movements left and right, fly in squares, then work on smooth, steady circles. Mastering these basics is the foundation for any cool camera moves later on. And before every flight, calibrate the drone's GPS and compass, especially in a new location. A thorough pre-flight checklist is non-negotiable. Check the weather, update firmware, check for no-fly zones again, charge everything drone batteries, controller, phone tablet, inspect the propellers for nicks or damage, and make sure your camera settings are right before you launch.
Okay, and nobody wants a flyaway. That sounds terrifying. What are the critical mistakes to avoid that could lead to losing your drone or, getting into trouble?
Yeah, flyaways are mostly down to human error, unfortunately. A good tip: practice with a cheap drone first. Build skills without risking expensive gear. Always let your drone lock its GPS home point before taking off. That's vital for the return-to-home function if something goes wrong. Never, ever lose sight of your drone. Keep the software updated. Updates often fix bugs that could cause issues. Know your drone's range limits. Avoid flying behind big obstacles like buildings or hills that can block the signal. And be really wary of areas with high electromagnetic interference. Think big cities with lots of antennas or flying near power lines. That can cause really erratic behavior or complete loss of control.
And the legal side, it seems like that varies a lot depending on where you are.
It does. And it's constantly changing, so you have to stay informed. Generally, in places like the U.S., drones over 0.55 pounds or 250 grams need to be registered with the FAA, even just for fun. Rules like remote ID are coming into effect that started for pilots September 16, 2023 in the U.S. There are pretty standard rules almost everywhere. Don't fly higher than 120 meters or 400 feet above ground level. Always keep the drone in your visual line of sight. Stay well clear of airports, usually at least 8 kilometers or 5 miles. And crucially, respect people's privacy. Don't fly over private property or hover outside windows, but always check the local regulations for where you plan to fly. They can differ significantly from country to country, even state to state or city to city sometimes.
So it's really clear that the planning and the safety side of things are just as important as the artistic vision if you want to get those truly great drone shots. It's definitely a holistic approach.
Absolutely. And speaking of advancing capabilities and making things easier, there's a lot of excitement right now around the DJI Mini 5 Pro, which is either just out or very imminent.
Yeah, the buzz around that drone is pretty significant. What's the big deal? What are the strategic implications of its new features, going beyond just the tech specs?
Well, the major upgrade, and the biggest implication really, is its larger 1-inch camera sensor. That's a huge leap for image quality, especially in low light. Older mini drones often struggled a bit before sunrise or after sunset. This means you can seriously extend your creative window, capture much better photos and videos during those amazing golden and blue hours. It kind of democratizes professional-grade low-light aerial shots, which used to need much bigger, heavier drones. And despite that bigger camera and extra sensors, they've still managed to engineer it to be under 250 grams, at least with the standard battery. That's a potential game changer for a lot of people. That sub 250 gram weight often means simpler regulations. In the EU, for example, you might just need to register the drone, not get a full pilot's license. Although, it's worth noting, the extended battery does push it over that 249 gram limit, so that's something to keep in mind for rules.
Right, so that sub 250 weight class really boosts accessibility, makes it easier for more people to get into serious drone photography without quite as many regulatory hurdles.
Precisely. Design-wise, the Mini 5 Pro might look a little chunkier, maybe slightly larger than the Mini 4 Pro, mainly because of that bigger camera and the enhanced obstacle avoidance sensors. These improved sensors are fantastic for avoiding things like power lines, which can be tricky. Though you still need to be cautious flying in complex environments, like through dense branches, people call them branch caves, where sensors can still get confused. A lot of users are also recommending getting DJI Care, the insurance plan, just for peace of mind. Drones with more complex sensors can sometimes be a bit more fragile if they do have a crash.
It's fascinating, isn't it? Even with all these advanced automatic features, those core principles of careful planning and cautious flying are still absolutely paramount. Like the material said, 90% of the picture is the photographer and the scene. Good skill makes any drone shine. So today we've journeyed through this really captivating world of drone photography. We've covered the art of composition from above, smart planning with tools like PhotoPills, the absolute importance of safe piloting and knowing the rules, and we even touched on the exciting new features of drones like the DJI Mini 5 Pro and what that means for creators like you.
Yeah, hopefully you now have a solid framework for becoming that drone photography ninja we mentioned earlier. Remember, the goal isn't just to fly, it's to create with intent, with safety, and really push your creative boundaries using that unique aerial perspective.
So for your final thought today, maybe consider this. What unique story are you going to tell with your drone, capturing a perspective that only that aerial view can reveal, making your next image truly unforgettable?
And like the PhotoPills team always says, never stop learning. There's always more to discover, both in the world down below and in the skies above.